Okay. Well, then we will move on here to our next module of today, which is projects, events, and educational programs. And I wanted to quickly here move through a couple of the in-person events that we have going on through the year that we hope your committees and leaders are involved in. And I'm sorry, I'm picking up a little bit of background noise, so I'm just trying to control that and figure that out. And if you don't need to have your audio on, maybe put yourself on mute at the moment while I try to track down where the background noise is coming from. Okay, I think I've got it. All right, so the huge event that we do in the course of the year is the section spring conference. And we are just really starting the planning process of the spring conference. I will just click here to the conference page that we have at the moment. We always do a request for proposals for the conference, and that request just ended. And within the next couple of weeks, we will be doing a review of all of those proposals, and the conference committee will be making decisions about the 60-ish or so programs that will be included as part of the spring conference. And here are just all of the basics. We actually should have taken down the submit a proposal link there. And the other spring conference item that I wanted to show you was that we have this countdown community on Connect. And anyone actually is able to join this countdown community. I think you need to create an ABA login, but you do not need to be an ABA member. And one of the things we try to do here is just kind of get out any basic information about the planning for the conference, things that are coming up as we recruit plenary presenters. We'll make that announcement here. We'll add the lodging information and reminders in here. So it's just a way to make sure that you're right there getting the information that you need about the spring conference. And more info will come soon. We also do a Mediation Institute. That's going to be in Houston this fall at South Texas College of Law in Houston in mid-November. And we have a really extensive program for these 2 days. We get a great attendance at this program. And I think one of the things folks really like about attending our institutes is it's a great combo of practitioners. Some folks who are new to the practice, folks who are mid-career, shall we say, and a lot of experienced practitioners. So it's just a great way. I don't want to say networking, but it's a great community of folks to be a part of for a few days.
Sorry, I'm extremely sad to say that you planned it for the one weekend in November that I will not be in Houston.
We did not have your calendar, Laura, so.
I'm choosing not to be offended by it, but.
Okay. All right, well, we're doing enough other things in your neighborhood. Hopefully we will catch you sometime in that area.
Sounds good.
The Arbitration Institute, which will be in early March, is in Phoenix. So if anyone on the phone is in Phoenix and we've managed to find a weekend that you are not going to be there, that's going to be March 9th to 10th in Phoenix. And a similar community is what I was talking about for the Mediation Institute. You get folks who are dipping their toe in the arbitration world, and of course a whole lot of the presenters at the Arbitration Training Institute are your experts, your folks who have done this for decades, and so it's a great combo of folks. One of the new educational things that we have going on that we just started 6 months ago or so, it feels very new to me, is our Resolutions podcast. So you can join the podcast just as you would any other podcast, subscribe on your iPhone or your Android phone, and you'll get a reminder every other week when we have a podcast ready. And you can go listen to our podcasts that are in the can. I'm scrolling through them here. We have a conversation about the Resolution 105 and diversity and ADR. Political peacemaking, they are insistent that it can happen, and then a whole bunch of other podcasts that are already have been developed and are recorded and are available to download and listen to. And then the podcast committee is developing a new podcast. I think every 2 weeks or so it comes out. And it's as easy to listen to as if you're you subscribe to the New York Times Daily podcast. You can get a great update on info from the section. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about if there are things that you want to do. If you have an idea of a new project or event, something that is currently not part of what the section of dispute resolution does, of course we have a policy and a system for you to do that. And I will pull it up quickly, but it's basically we have this form that we want you to think through. What is this that you want to do? Is it an educational program? Is it a book, a manual, something kind of what sort of resources do you need to pull it together? What kind of staff support do you need? And we want you to then fill out a form to sort of flesh out the concept. You can of course talk with me, talk with Linda Seeley, talk with folks on staff to sort of figure out what really should you be thinking about before you fill out the form, and we are happy to brainstorm.
So I can hear you in between.
Yes.
It's going off a bit into the distance.
My voice is going into the distance?
Yes, it just went in and out of it for a moment.
Okay, let me know if that keeps happening. I will try to stay as still as I can, as I think that's the problem. Also, if you are in particular thinking that you have a topic that you want to present a webinar or a teleconference about, and these days we're doing far more webinars than teleconferences. So for instance, if it's social media arbitrators and disclosure, there's also a form for you to fill out. This one is really, it has a number of check boxes, and it's kind of tell us your topic, who you're thinking you might want to present about, and we will look at trying to get that on our calendar for the next coming year. We tend to do about 2 CLE webinars per month, and the ABA as a whole, the big ABA, wants even more content for us. So we are looking at ways that we can get those good ideas out there and be able to provide educational programming for our members. All right, I'm gonna pause here just to give myself a break from talking and ask if you all have any questions about our basically projects, events, educational programs. Really? I'm going to check chat.
Well, let me just jump in here. This is Linda again, and encourage you to really think about putting in a webinar proposal. We do provide to the big ABA access to some of our webinars. It's part of the new membership model that they put together to provide a certain number of free CLE programs to our membership. And it's a great way to get your name out there, to get the section out there, and to do a little research into maybe something that you're interested in. So I really want to encourage you, particularly if you are a committee chair, to survey your committee members, see what they'd like to do, and think about doing something like that. We do not have a proposal form for the podcast, but if you want to contact me directly, Linda Seeley, I will pass along your idea to the podcast committee for their consideration. So we want you to be able to use these platforms to promote your ideas, your research, and your interests. So please take advantage of them.
All right, thank you.